So then, if someone is starting from square one, what would you say is a good place to start? And that was submitted by our listener, Renee.
Well, I always say, and it's not necessarily as true as it was before, but I say start with Twitter. And why Twitter? Well, Twitter's just totally open as a platform. To some extent, Instagram is as well. But Facebook is okay, but Facebook is quite sort of permission based. So, like, you can't necessarily connect with people unless they're like friends, and all the rest of it. And even LinkedIn is a little bit like that. So, I would say start with Twitter because Twitter has a thing of people following other people back, and everything's open. It's kind of everything's open. So, like, you can look and find Twitter chats. You can find people. You can see what people are saying on the platform, which you can't on a lot of the other sites. So I say start with Twitter as a connection thing. You don't necessarily want to keep people on Twitter because it's not a particularly great platform for chatting to people. When I say DMs, direct messaging. So I think Facebook is a better platform. Facebook or Instagram are better platforms for that. In fact, probably Instagram is the most effective platform I found for connecting people, bizarrely.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think it's because the whole story concept. So, I mean, it's crept onto other platforms where they've all got like these, so a series of videos and pictures about people they do. But if you reply to them on Instagram, generally speaking, you get a response, even from very big accounts.
That's true, yeah.
So it's quite a good platform for making that connection. Yeah, but I say start with Twitter because and then you can start moving those people onto other platforms. Yeah, that's my rather unhelpful advice. And also, it's really, really, really easy to build up a lot of followers on Twitter quickly.
I think as well, because Twitter is written rather than pictures and stuff, it's a lower barrier to entry because I'm not like, I hate designing. I have a love-hate relationship with it. And I'm not the best photographer in the world and I'm quite camera shy. So Instagram's not great for me, but Twitter's great because I can just like tweet random things and people seem to like it.
Oh, yeah.
That's Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, Twitter, I mean, people go on about the trolls on Twitter. But yeah, in some ways, Twitter is it is very tolerant in a way, because even though you might get abuse from people, there are always going to be people who support you on Twitter. It's kind of like a weird way of saying it. But on some other platforms, like you can get abused by people and you get no support whatsoever from anybody. So...
Yeah, trolling isn't exclusive to Twitter, but also I kind of think of it as if you're being trolled, it's almost a sign that you've made it or that you're saying or doing something important enough and big enough that you are almost dividing people. And that actually helps you to stand out and build your brand more.